Hi, I'm Lyle from the Idle Red Hands.
I'm Jeremy from the Idle Red Hands.
And welcome to our unboxing of Warhammer 40k Dark Imperium.
Yeah, 8th edition Warhammer 40k.
Yeah. They don't write it on there, like 8th edition, but
They
I guess...
don't, right. Yeah, I guess you just have to go by the art. So whatever generation of art you're looking at, you have to
the
hope you can
distinctive
match
Space
it.
Marine, who are they fighting? Yeah. All right, and yeah, this one was purchased in Japan, and if you're a gamer, a mini gamer outside of Japan going, hey, can I keep up my hobby in Japan? Well, I don't know. This cost 21,800 and something yen.
Mm-hmm.
So you decide. You do the exchange rate. See, it's like, can I afford it? Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll be looking. Of course, we're going to look at what's inside. We're also going to be asking a couple questions, and one is, I mean, is it worth it? I mean, is there buyer's remorse after we open this?
Mm-hmm.
Also, should you buy this or should you wait for the other starter sets that are coming? There's at least 2 more that are coming. I think they'll be cheaper. You're going to get less, of course, but maybe that might be your entryway into 40k. And also, if you're looking at splitting it, you know, one of you wants to be a Death Guard player, one of you wants to be a Space Marine player. Should you buy one and split the minis and maybe buy an extra rule book, or maybe buy 2 and then just swap the miniatures?
Right.
So hopefully we'll have answers to those questions and more.
Yes. When we open this box.
All right.
And hardcover full rule book. Inside. Sneak preview.
All right, let's look inside.
All right.
I guess it's an unboxing, but we shouldn't talk too much about a box.
Yeah, right.
The outside of the box. That's the outside of the boxing.
Right.
But I mean, gorgeous art, of course. But
Yeah.
you ever notice like the Space Marines really love to like stand on the dead.
Get some elevation there.
Yeah, quick, make a human pyramid. So I guess that's part of their training. He's like, look, who's he standing on?
A lot of the fallen.
And yeah, they're at the point like, okay, I guess you could still use a bolter. It's still pretty effective, but like, you don't really need to. Probably throw that bolt gun. So we've got we got the Space Marines, but special Space Marines, Primaris.
Right.
Space Marines, and great to see Nurgle's or Nurgle's forces, in particular the Death Guard.
Right. Yeah, and this the detail on these is great. And it's really great to see them kind of move away from a more standard Chaos Force or doing orcs, but to see Nurgle.
Yeah. All right. Let's look inside. Yeah.
Yeah, look inside. Okay, so let's open her up. Yeah, so what we have is not a box lid, but a sleeve. So the box doesn't have, it's upside down, doesn't have the...
Whoa, let's not rush the sleeve. Oh, man.
The sleeve.
And there's a back. Shows you.
There we have,
and looking at the box contents, I think they're actually under-reporting what we're going to... So we may have a pleasant surprise. So they're saying a rule book, 20 Space Marines booklet, and a Death Guard booklet, a range ruler, and 12 dice. But is there going to be something extra? Let's take a look.
Right.
And you see, I think that's actual size. So that's...
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't bring a Space Marine miniature with me to go, oh yeah, they are a little bit bigger.
Right. Yeah, and now we've got so this is the new move definitely for Games Workshop. They're promoting their social media and their Facebook presence and everything. I think that was something that is...
Facebook in ultramarine blue.
Part of the reformation happening at Games Workshop. They're going to maybe engage with the fans instead of ignore them and maybe reply to some comments, but I guess we'll find out.
Whoa, there's like a box within a box here.
Right. Yeah, so we've got
Spare no expense.
a tray. Yeah, so nice art, the kind of half and half Space Marine we've been looking at, and so everything's in a tray, sealed. And what the nice thing about this is, in previous sets, you've got the sprues of the miniatures, and you've got a booklet, and if there's any pressure put on the box, you've got nice scratch marks and gouges in your booklet from the little pointy bits.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So they've nicely separated it into a tray with all your sprues, and
in plastic.
What do we have here? In plastic we have the rule book, and not any rule book, not a paperback, but an actual full hardback, full rules book. So there's not some limited scenarios, some limited sets of rules. It's the whole book. It's the exact version. Yeah, exact version you're getting.
Because Age of Sigmar, I think, would be gosh, I didn't really look at Dark Vengeance, but Age of Sigmar, the booklet was like 96 pages.
Right.
And I think softcover.
Yes, it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was like an A4 soft cover,
Yeah.
but so it had some nice art, but very limited lore, just like maybe 10 pages of lore. And I think Dark Vengeance was a mini, like mini like an A6 or not an A5 booklet that was no fluff, only
I think
rules.
Salt on Blackreach was the same. So it was an either or thing. You could get or both. I think that's what they would be aiming for. If you wanted like the nice rules, you would buy that separately.
Right.
And if you wanted like a mini rule book, you bought the box set. But here you can get the deluxe rule book.
Yeah. I think that was
the box set. And I think the subsequent or the starter sets that are coming are going to be booklets with the rules.
Right.
Less miniatures. All right.
And after that, we've got our mini. Oh, they're all together. Our mini codex for Space Marines.
And we have transfers for the Space Marines.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to continue with the transfers or start to do in the releases that are going to be Army specific, if they're going to do actually.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little bit surprised Space Wolves are here since they tend to wolf up their armor a bit.
Right.
So people tend to buy those, whereas the Blood Angels, Dark Angels, and Ultramarines tend to have the same armor, white skulls, Imperial Fists. It'd be nice to see some of those transfers for a change instead of the same old four.
So here's our two. Whoa, lots more. Here's our two mini codex. So these are just like 24 pages, but they're all the stat lines that you need for who you're
Question
playing.
I have would be: is this just the miniatures?
Right.
Or just what's covered in the box set, or do we get like little extras, like teasers? So we'll look at that.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like they are going to want to do a full hardbound codex of Primaris Space Marines. So it would be interesting to see if they've gone beyond. Yeah, it looks like kind of what's in the book, but nice full color.
Yep, just what's in the book.
Yeah. Oh, so, it is. Yeah, just what's in the box. Yeah.
Or sorry, just what's in the box. Yeah, of course it's what's in the book. So you got for the Space Marines, you got your captain, your lieutenant, your ancient, and I believe the ancient is the standard bearer.
Right.
Which is a little bit confusing because the dreadnoughts are sometimes called the ancients, but there is no dreadnought in here. Then you've got your intercessor squad, which would be your standard like tactical, so your bolt gun, because it's not a complete tactical squad. Like you can't upgrade this, but the guys with the bolt guns. You have your interceptor squad, which would be the flying guys, like your assault squads. And I believe they have some pretty decent weaponry, like.
Oh yeah, right. They're like a dual bolters.
Assault bolters, so they're almost like heavy bolters.
Right.
And you have your Hellblaster squad, which use the plasma guns. So.
And so similar to what we saw with Age of Sigmar, now they're doing keywords. So everything is set up with keywords. So your data sheet now has keywords which you can use when you're building forces and building armies.
And people unfamiliar, the Primaris are a new gene seed.
Right.
So the first time they developed a new one or I guess advanced the gene seed in 10,000 years. So they now have these upstarts that have come in and they're a little bit bigger. It's a nice way to justify that you're going to have bigger models, or I think they're calling it like some unofficially true scale. Like they actually are going to look like 10 or 7 feet tall Space Marines, and they either join certain chapters or they form their own.
Right.
And then people can say like, the Space Wolves wouldn't really want these guys in there because they're too proud. Like, I'm not sure if that's what the lore is for the Space Wolves, but for example, but I guess not because they put them right in there. The Space Wolves.
But that'll be interesting to see in the lore what chapters may deny the Primaris Marines and what kind of situation that creates.
Considering they always play up the Dark Angel's secrets, why they would let them in? Because it'd be like, you don't come in here. But you got all your classic guys.
Salamanders.
And the Storm Reaper, so you're less than classic. I'm not familiar with them. That's good colors, and of course you can always go online and get all the chapters that you could ever want.
Right. And then the Death Guard as well. So a very similar situation. They'll just give you a couple pages of background and some models.
For those unfamiliar, the Death Guard are bad guys, if you can't tell from that.
Yeah, and I like the design is just great. I mean the big units are really gorgeous in detail, and then the smaller units, what essentially are the poxwalkers and the your kind of mutated cultist level units are have nice details, because a lot of their detail are Horus Heresy, like 30K era soldiers that were taken and have been taken by Nurgle, and so they have funny detail on them that actually references.
And they got bloat drones.
Right, yeah.
I'm not too familiar with Chaos Marine, so is that a new machine? It might be.
There's a Forge World has rules and has had models for the bloat drone.
Okay, great.
But this is the first plastic version, and it's really nice looking. I guess people were saying that the orientation of it is a little bit different. It looks a little different than what they were used to with Forge World, but it's got a nice look to it, and really great detail.
Yeah.
And
with the models, every edition you wonder how they're going to top themselves, and they always do.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause I remember early Death Guard, and they were pretty static. They just sit there with their arms, like the Han Solo arms, with the bent at the
Right.
elbows.
Yeah,
and then they came up with the next generation, and you thought, well, that's great. You don't really need to upgrade. Stop there, and then no, they've gone a step further. Well, I didn't know that. Hey. How many shades of green are there?
Yes, you can find every shade. Yeah. So there's different colorations for different factions within the Death Guard, and then here's all our painted models, and then the stat lines for everything. So the Lord of Contagion, the Malignant, Plague Caster. Yeah, so they're Psyker.
The Psyker.
Yeah, he's I think of all of the models that they've released with Nurgle, a little bit disappointing. He's kind of pulling a Harpo Marx face and kind of chucking a sleeve full of vomit at you. It's not the most compelling. It's not the most compelling. I mean, there's really nice details and really complicated, beautiful models, and he's kind of the doughiest, a little. The chubbiest, roundest looking one, not as compelling, just not as much.
Stop fat shaming these Nurgle.
These Nurgle. Yeah,
and we got a noxious Blightbringer.
Yes, the Blightbringer, and then the Plague Marines themselves.
And we're saying these as if that's like, the noxious Blightbringer. The Blightbringer. Okay.
He brings the Blight.
Yeah.
The fetid bloat drone, and then our poxwalkers. Yeah, so all the stat lines, and so just like with the Marines, but I guess we're all Death Guard affiliated, so there's no chapter or no brackets on these in these keywords.
Chaos, Nurgle,
Heretic Astartes. Yeah, so Heretic Astartes is like kind of when they did the Chaos book. That's kind of like, I guess maybe like Chaos Unbound or kind of unaffiliated Chaos.
They kind of
mix and match.
It's funny how it would be like Space Marines and then Chaos Space Marines, and then now they're like Latining it up.
Yeah, right.
Let's just commit to the Latin. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, maybe that's
our players aren't getting any younger.
Right. Give them something.
Let's give up on the 15-year-old market.
Right. So there's
either that or Latin's making a huge comeback in the UK.
It could be, definitely in the UK. Yeah. And then they give you a color assembly guide, which is really nice. So it's all 3D renderings and colors, so you're actually seeing exactly what pieces they're referring to, not just a little black and white fold-in, but all of the parts, and then of course paint suggestions, paint scheme suggestions.
Right, and color-coded, how to do it. And they also give you a gluing guide, like where to put to put the glue, so it's not, you don't overwhelm the joints. So just the right amount of glue. So for the novices, I mean, you would say novices, but I
the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts, but I think they walk a good line here. That's a lot of assembly for a novice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But I think it would satisfy a more experienced gamer or modeler.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
pretty dynamic poses.
Yeah, the poses are nice and dynamic. But
I started in second edition,
Oh,
and they were just like you push the bolt gun into the chest or the stomach of the Space Marine, and
the
you were done.
hands were already on the bolt gun.
Yeah,
right?
you were done. I mean, it was a snap, and
Yeah,
the orcs were, axe off to the side with the little bolt gun arm, and the Gretchen were just one piece. So.
Yeah. Yeah, you had the option of which angle maybe their arm was going to be at.
Yeah, is he shooting at the sky, or is he shooting in front of them, or kind of like his arms broken, shooting at the ground?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of choices there.
Yeah. And then suggestions for
Yeah,
your nerdly colors.
The 30 colors you need for each. It's very easy. Just buy what?
Right.
And then the kid's gonna go to the store to get these models, and he's like $50.
Right.
Yeah. You're lucky. This is when the kid decides, actually, I think I'll play the good guys.
Yeah, right.
What's that, 5 colors?
That's right. Yeah, Nurgle definitely is it's got some color variation. You got get all that pus and all those.
Oh, look at
sores.
that! Look at that! if you don't like painting, there you go. Yeah, what are you gonna choose? Yeah, and these are actually like different factions.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. I'm obviously not the painter of the two. I'm more of a gamer. I get this to game. Whoa, what is that? Is that special? That was not on the back.
That's right. Here, a value added. Look at what we've got here. We've got a reference card, so like kind
I was actually expecting something bigger, but
yeah. So like I guess like an A5, like a half-page reference card. But this is a summary of all your phases. So everything that you're doing in your movement, psychic shooting phase, and a little bit of detail about so some of the tables that you could enroll.
And this is just about all the rules. I mean, there are certain special rules or additional rules in the rule book, but this is the core rules.
Right. So you can
it's definitely streamlined.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not quite. I think what Age of Sigmar was like 4 pages. It was like literally 4 pages. So it's this. I mean, because I think there's a little bit more. You've got. The way that they kind of set certain things up, you're going to have refer to tables or need a little bit more information. But as far as simplicity, this is compared to 7th edition.
The wound rules have changed, simplified, and now vehicles have wounds.
Right.
So
so look at that.
And
put it in your pocket.
And with the vehicles, and this gets into when you look at the vehicle rules. I don't think we have an example here, but we will when we look at the index.
Mm-hmm.
Is that as a vehicle takes ability diminishes?
And each of the data sheets they have however many wounds a larger unit is carrying. It limits its movement. Mm-hmm. Its movement is limited, and its effectiveness is essentially the more that it's damaged, it becomes less effective. So that's very interesting, and a nice change, definitely. Yeah. So should we see what's under?
We're not done.
Whoa. Yeah, this reminded me a little bit of what Fantasy Flight always does, kind of sticks, has that insert in the box, but there's never anything underneath that cardboard in a Fantasy Flight game.
Sometimes, but I mean, there might be cards or something. So we got
all kinds of surprises.
Faces.
Yes.
Whoa, I think both of these big ones are. Oh, are both of these for Nurgle or?
I think so. This is probably the bloat drone.
Oh, different size bases here.
Yeah, I'm curious too if they're 32 or 25, because that was Age of Sigmar kind of stepped things up to 32 millimeter bases for just your basic units. So I'm curious if that's going to be a standard now, because Primaris Marines must be much bigger models, so they're going to be on 32 millimeter bases.
The rangefinder, or
there it is, and that's see-through. Yeah.
See-through. It's not the little plastic stick. Even Age of Sigmar had that.
Right, yeah, the Age of Sigmar starter had the,
That's the new range ruler, yeah.
Right, and some nice, clear, transparent red dice. Holding those up to the camera.
You really
look at
gush
that.
about that.
They're beautiful. Dice. They're beautiful. Yeah, I guess they're not custom dice, but they're not those cheap white dice they throw into every single box. Those cheap D6s. So
okay. I guess I'm not a dice connoisseur. I was just like, red dice. Oh, is it clear? Oh, great.
And here's our flight stands.
Oh, yeah.
Almost couldn't see them. Right.
Oh, they're going to be at different heights, or at least one of them will be a little bit lower.
Right. One of. So this was a real surprise, and I'm really glad that it didn't take the make the price of this starter set outrageous. You know, because including this book, just buying this book separately is like $50. You know, it's a 60. Yeah, so 60. Yeah. Right. So that's a good chunk already out of the set. It was kind of hard.
So what? This starter set is like 160 American.
I think so. Yeah.
In Japan, it's over 20,000 yen. So it's actually not that much of a markup in Japan.
Right. Yeah.
With the exchange rate at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good. Good timing. A strong yen would have made that pretty painful. All right. So yeah, and we've got a really nice hardcover rule book. The same kind of nice art for all the lore. Yeah. Wow.
Really committing to the Space Marines.
Yeah, they really are. Wow, that's great. And so they're breaking everything down, and then of course I think everything is going to remind us of the Age of Sigmar kind of rule changes. So they've got the open play, the narrative play, and the matched play. So different styles. You know, these.
The match play would be the points.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So using points, and an open play is just bring everything you have and throw it all.
And narrative
on the
play is here's the scenario, go.
Right. Yeah. And kind of connects you more with campaigns. But yeah, so
since the rules are so short, a lot of this is fluff.
Right. Yeah, I think a good chunk of the beginning of the book. So you kind of the introduction to the hobby and everything, but you get right into breaking down all of the fluff. So explaining the Dark Millennium, Imperium of Man, and then giving you a quick overview of all the different factions and armies, just kind of quickly, like they usually do, just kind of give you everyone's place in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
And but it looks great. Yeah, heavy on the Space Marines. They want you in there, and then Chaos, the Xenos.
Well, they know what people buy. I love the Harlequins that I think that came out in the 7th edition.
Yeah,
because I have the old Harlequins, and they're not that great as far as models go, but I kept them because they're Harlequins.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can upgrade to the new ones.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what they're going to be reissuing, because when you look, there's either fine cast or metal versions of a lot of the units that they're mentioning in the indices, and how many people are going to really want to buy a 20-year-old metal model from the Games Workshop website. They're probably going to have to start updating a lot of these named characters, or more people that play more into the latest lore and the latest narrative. They're going to really have to update those.
There's only war.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. So here's the game rules and just explanation of the data sheets and everything. Yeah.
And you look at these pictures and you wonder, is there only white people in the UK?
Wow. Yeah. So great explanation. Yeah, I think they're following very similar to how they're introducing a lot of miniature games now, kind of spelling everything out. And
so for the question of value-wise, you get a lot of... we're going to look at the miniatures in a moment. But, looks like it's a pretty good value.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this book itself is a great thing to have in a starter set. It's a heavy old thing with a ribbon.
Oh, fancy. Because it was that one page, Oh, just a sec. I've got that page marked.
So
where was I? The Chaos Guards. Read all the Daemons of Chaos. Oh, I'll come back to you later.
Nice. Yeah. Sit by the fire. Yeah. All right.
In my country club, only white people.
Right. All right. So here we have that nice separated box. So we broke our little Inquisitor seal.
Ooh.
And look at all the sprues. Wow. Yes,
Okay.
So we've got... Wow. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. That's a lot of plastic.
That is plastic.
Wow. So it looks like, so we've got some, especially with the, so we've got duplicated 2 sprues of the Poxwalkers and then bigger. Yeah. Wow.
am I holding some? I feel like I have a lot of Marines.
Well, I think so. I think it's three small sprues and one large sprue for each.
Oh, you were grabbing all the Nurgle.
Yeah, I got all the Nurgle. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I was like.
And this, look at that. That could be terrain for. Look at what they include. It's actually nice that they're giving you a little bit of protection because these little spiky bits go right through that cardboard and snap right off. Look
I'm
at
not much of a modeler. What would I do with that? I don't know. It's a strange landscape. Oh no, these are like little spores. So they step on these and Nurgle's rot comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, field of pustules.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah, but these are just gorgeous detail.
And then move that.
Yeah.
The standard comes.
Oh,
Yeah.
blank. Look at that.
It's actually.
Add your chapter here.
Yeah, it's molded, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty generic, so you can fit in
So,
just about anybody.
Do they give you a large enough? Yeah, maybe. I'm just curious. Yeah, if they give you a transfer to
put
if
on
you're gonna
there.
have to hand paint them.
Well, they tell you exactly what the things are, like the squad markings, the campaign badges, chapter markings, and no, I think you just, I don't know, maybe
You're
you paint your
freehanding
own.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would just be a happy face. No, frown face because it's dark.
All right. That's the brooding.
Yeah.
Wow.
But maybe hard to see, but very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The detail
but,
is.
I mean, people that expect that from Games Workshop. There's no surprises there.
There's a lot of detail to clog up with thick paint and lose all those beautiful.
Yeah. See these. Look at these lines that you're never going to see. Yeah, it's going to be the
your
back
paint.
of the guy's head, and you're just going to be, do I paint this now or do I glue it? And so a lot of choices there. The new bolt guns look amazing.
Yeah. Those heavy bolters those are great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really nice details and nice. I mean, they just keep improving, and I like the plastic is really rigid and is holding really nice hard detail. There's nothing that looks like you could scrape it off with a hobby knife. It looks really good.
Ooh. There's the one that's going to be tricky.
Yeah, right.
That strap.
Wow.
But other than that, I'm not seeing a lot of problems there.
And they do a really nice job with these kits of seams where you're gluing them together are really well hidden. Like they run along body contour lines or are hidden under plates of armor, so you don't see a lot of seams and you're not dealing with a lot of flash.
I'll wait for the topless Imperial Guard before make a final decision on that. There they give them the little singlets. And just, what are they, the Kachan or something? What do they call those guys? The jungle players.
I don't know.
Yeah. The Rambos.
Yes. All right. And the other thing we want to look at, we got the rule book.
An example. We just got the one. Chaos.
Yeah, so they did a set of, is it 5? There's like 2 Imperium,
2 Xenos.
and then Chaos, and that's it, right? 5, yeah. So, yeah, so there's 5 index books that pretty much give you data sheets for all the existing models.
Yeah, Imperium 1 is the Space Marines are like the Space Marines. I think the Grey Knights are in there. And then Imperium 2 covers like Imperial Guard and the other Imperial forces.
Right.
And then the Xenos 1 is the Eldar plus the Necrons. And then the other book then is the Orcs and Tau.
Right, that's right.
And then finally is this one, which gives you both. You get your demons and your. I'm gonna be old school and your Chaos Space Marines.
Right.
I remember when they split those.
Yeah.
And they did that because they knew they could.
Right.
But now they're bringing it to. And I understand that they're doing the indexes for now, but then they do probably have plans in the future to come out with codexes.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And so I'm curious how, kind of instantly out of date these are, or I guess like a step at a time out of date as they release codexes for each, individual army represented in here, and how this was, kind of like the half step that they had to do with Age of Sigmar, where they're like, okay, we're not killing fantasy. Here's rules for everything, even stuff that doesn't exist in Age of Sigmar. in the mortal realm. So we're going to
Well,
give
this
you all of that.
seems to be more backwards compatible. Certainly in the FAQ before they released it, they were saying that you can use your models, and it. Well, I mean, we can see. I mean, we can see what things you have. We're looking here, like, there's, was it Karn the Betrayer?
There he is.
Yeah, it might be one of the models they might want to upgrade.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Some of the named characters, I mean, they haven't had updates in a while, so it'll be nice to see, and hopefully they'll do it in a nice narrative way as things continue. They'll be remaking.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't look like they've necessarily thrown out the Chaos Cultists, Chaos Terminators, classic Chaos, 100 Sorcerers. Yeah. So I think it's. Yeah, I mean, with the rulebook having so much fluff, I guess you don't have to get too much into it. You get straight into what people really want.
Right.
And the points and the abilities.
Yeah, that was another thing they added. I haven't read much about this, but also the
movement's back.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we have. Yeah, and also power ratings. That was something I hadn't read about, but there was some discussion about how some people aren't happy with that system and just would rather just do straight points.
Yeah, lots of named characters. So there you go, Chaos Predator. So here we go. I don't know if people can see, and the Chaos Vindicator. They still got, if you love your Havocs, you got your Havocs. Love your Obliterators, you got your Obliterators. 10 power, oh my god. So they are still expensive. You say, you got the power? That's why I make the power, so I can spend the power. So damage, so yeah, it goes remaining wounds, is what's your movement, what's your ballistic skill, and what's your armor. So then if your wounds go down to 3 to 6, then your movement is halved. And your ballistic skill worsens by 1, and if you go from 3, you can't really have that, so it's a D3, and then your movement gets halved again when you're down to your last legs. Man, you're like, there's no way you can escape.
Yeah, right. At that point, moving 3 inches a turn.
Done. No. And they attack you again. Why did I bother?
Yeah, so I'm really curious, like, where they're going from here. We've already gotten a little bit of a preview. There's 2 more starter sets coming out.
That's right. And so one of our other questions is to wait. I mean, you look at it's a big box. I mean, we can talk about what a bargain it is at $160 if you're in the States, or over 20,000 yen if you're in Japan. But still, I mean, it's not an insignificant amount of money. Right. So really, I would say, I mean, if you're like 40K, even if you thought you were free like I did, then I would say that this starter set is definitely worth what you get.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in my case, I sold off a lot of my miniatures, and people snapped up the Space Marines. So I looked at what I had left, and I thought, I need a core.
Yeah, right.
And definitely getting this box set gave me that core. And I think there's two other starter sets coming out, one First Strike, and that's going to have new miniatures. And then there's another one that's coming out, which will have miniatures from this set. Right,
which I think is like a reduced, maybe like 6 units, just kind of a starter, so you can try, have like skirmish level battles.
So I think if you were new to 40K, I would probably wait for one of those sets.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and I would probably go with the First Strike one, with the scouts and the other ones, because then if you do like it, then you can upgrade to get the bigger rulebook. Right. And then you get more miniatures, but they won't be a repeat. So you won't feel like you wasted your money. And I think it's also smart on 40K's part, because now we're looking at that First Strike going, I want those scouts. Right.
And the bottom of the box is terrain. So
I guess another question you might have is, hey, I want to split with a friend. I'm not going to play Death Guard, or hey, I'm not boring. I'm not going to play Space Marines. So should me and my friend just split a box set and buy an additional rule book, or do we each get it and then swap the miniatures? And yeah, I guess I could give the cop-out answer is it depends. But I would say each person, and this is what we did, is we each get a box set, and then we're going to swap the miniatures. And the reason is that I know they make like the intercessors. I mean, they have them in 2 squads of 5, but it kind of seems like if you are going to really commit to the Primaris, you're going to want at least 20 of those guys.
Right.
And these flyers, I'm going to have to look at the unit components. And I come from points, not power systems, so I'm not 100% familiar, but I mean, only 3, I mean, you're going to want lots of those guys. So an interceptor squad, these are the flying guys, 8 power. So that's at least cheaper than the Hellfire squad. So it's pretty conceivable that it'd be pretty easy to field 2 of these squads.
Right.
6 of these guys flying around.
Yeah, that's quite a set. I was surprised. I mean, I think the weight, when I first looked at that box, this was mostly responsible for the weight, but it was a surprisingly heavy box when I first picked up the set box itself, and it was still wrapped in plastic. And I think this is the weight. But this is really nice to see, and I think this will get people not taking any half steps into the new edition. They're going to be have a complete rule book, so it's not going to be one of those things where they buy the starter set and it's like, no, I'm not doing the new rules, I'm not doing this. This really puts you in there. So yeah, I think that this was a really nice move, and it's nice that they protected it so it actually gets to you in decent condition, hasn't crushed anything, and isn't scratched into oblivion by the sprues laying on it. So so we're really looking forward to trying the new rule system, the streamlined, simplified, with these beautiful new models. So I guess let's get painting.
Yeah, and I hope we made your buying decision easier.
Yes.
If you're like Jeremy, who buys any miniature games that comes out, I think I texted you saying, wow, I'm really tempted by the 40K, and you're like, I already ordered it. Yeah. Or if you're like me and you're really trying to escape miniature games, I mean, it is pretty tempting, but I'm happy with my purchase.
Okay, good. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us. I mean, if you found this useful, of course, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll certainly have more unboxings of older and newer games.
Yes.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Goodbye.